She was just a civilian. No rank, no uniform, no combat history, at least none that officially existed. And yet, on that cold, high-altitude morning, her voice would shake the confidence of two of the most elite fighter pilots in the world. The sky above the Pacific training corridor looked calm, almost deceptively peaceful. Wisps of cloud drifted lazily beneath the blazing sun, and the horizon stretched endlessly, blue melting into blue. To the untrained eye, it was just another quiet day in the air. But for Major Ryan Cole and Captain Jason Hale, call signs Viper 2 and Falcon 5, nothing about the mission felt routine. They were flying F-22 Raptors, the crown jewel of modern air dominance. Each jet was worth more than most small cities' annual budgets. Stealth-coated, sensor-packed, capable of speeds and maneuvers that defied physics, the Raptors were designed for one thing: total control of the sky. And today, something felt off. Anyone else getting interference? Hale asked over the encrypted channel, his voice steady but cautious. Cole glanced at his instruments. Everything looked normal. Fuel levels optimal, radar clean, electronic warfare systems green. Still, a faint static hummed through his headset. Barely noticeable but persistent. "Yeah," Cole replied. "Very faint. Could be atmospheric." They had been patrolling the edge of a restricted airspace zone, a place that existed on maps but never on civilian flight paths. No commercial airliners passed through here. No private jets. No drones. Only classified military traffic, and even that was rare. That was why the sudden transmission made both pilots tense instantly. The static sharpened into clarity, and a voice emerged. Not panicked, not rushed, not distorted. Calm. Controlled. Almost unsettlingly composed. Eagle 1 requesting immediate clearance. Silence followed. For half a second, neither pilot spoke. Cole's heart rate spiked. He recognized that call sign. So did Hale. They both did. "Did you just hear that?" Hale asked, his voice low. "Yeah," Cole said slowly. "I heard it. Eagle 1. That wasn't a civilian identifier. It wasn't even a standard military call sign. It was something else entirely. Something buried deep within classified training protocols and legacy programs that hadn't been mentioned in years." Cole's mind raced. That call sign hadn't been used in active operations for over a decade. "Run a quick if sweep," Hale said. "See if anyone's spoofing." Cole toggled his systems, scanning the surrounding airspace. The identification friend or foe system painted the sky in digital clarity, friendly signals glowing green, neutral objects yellow, hostile red. The result made his stomach drop. Nothing. No friendly aircraft. No unknown transponders. No drones. No bogies. Just the two F-22s and empty sky. "Negative contact," Cole reported. "No if return at all." Another pause, then the voice came back. "Raptor flight. Acknowledge. You are approaching a compromised corridor." The tone hadn't changed. Still calm. Still measured. As if the speaker had absolute confidence that they would listen. Hale swallowed. "Compromised?" he muttered. "Who the hell is this?" Cole tried to respond through official channels. "Unidentified aircraft. This is U.S. Air Force Raptor Patrol. State your identity and authorization." Static. For a brief moment, Cole thought the transmission was gone. Then, "Authorization exists," the voice replied. "Your clearance window does not." Hale's hands tightened on the control stick. That wasn't guesswork. That wasn't a lucky bluff. That was insider language. "Command, this is Viper 2. Cole transmitted on a secure channel. We're receiving unidentified communications. Possible spoofing. Request confirmation of friendly operations in Sector Delta 7. The reply came quickly. "Viper 2. Command confirms no friendly aircraft operating in your sector. Maintain patrol and report any further contact." Cole exchanged a glance with Hale through the canopy glass. Though they were flying hundreds of feet apart, No friendly aircraft. Yet someone knew their patrol designation, their sector, their timing. The radio crackled again. You don't have time to debate this, the voice said. Radar silence ends in 90 seconds. Hale checked his threat display. Nothing. Still nothing. But the hairs on the back of his neck stood up. Cole, he said quietly, run a passive scan. Don't ping. Cole did. The screen flickered. Then, a faint shadow appeared. Then another. Not clear enough to classify. Not solid enough to lock. But they were there. And they were closing. Holy, Cole whispered. His heart slammed against his ribs. Command, Hale said sharply. We have possible low observable contacts. Range decreasing. Before Command could reply, the unknown voice spoke again. You are being painted by systems you can't see yet. If you wait for confirmation, you won't have it. Hale's mouth went dry. That was exactly how advanced tracking worked. You need to break left now, the voice continued. Chaff won't help. Your window is narrow. Cole hesitated. Every rule screamed at him not to follow instructions from an unidentified source, especially one that claimed authority without proof. But every instinct he had as a pilot told him the same thing. This voice knew what it was talking about. Who are you? Cole demanded. A brief pause. Then, quietly. That doesn't matter yet. The contacts grew clearer. Hostile. Fast. Missile warning tones suddenly screamed in both cockpits. Hale didn't wait. Braking left. He shouted. Cole followed instantly. The Raptors banked hard, engines roaring as they sliced through the sky. Countermeasures deployed. Maneuvers executed with brutal precision. Missiles streaked through the air behind them, missing by meters. Then more. And more. Stay tight, the voice commanded. They're adjusting. Cole realized something chilling. She wasn't reacting. She was anticipating. Every instruction came seconds before the threat materialized. Every move placed them just outside the kill zone. After a tense, breathless minute, the warning tones stopped. Silence returned. The sky looked peaceful again. Too peaceful. Hale exhaled shakily. That was no civilian. Cole nodded, his hands still trembling. He keyed the radio. Eagle 1, he said carefully. You just saved 2 Raptors. Identify yourself. The channel stayed quiet. For a long moment, Cole thought she was gone. Then, softly, I told you, the voice replied. That doesn't matter yet. Radar showed nothing. No aircraft, no signal source, just empty sky. And a call sign that shouldn't exist. So who? Was Eagle 1? Air traffic control tried to override the signal. Unidentified transmission, cease broadcast immediately. A sharp voice cut in over the emergency frequency. Raptor flight, return to primary command channel. For a brief second, Major Ryan Cole felt relief. Official voices meant structure, control, rules. But the calm didn't last. The static surged again, louder this time, sharper, as if the signal itself was pushing back. Then her voice returned. Stronger, clearer, unmistakable. Listen carefully, she said. You have incoming bogeys at your 6. You have 90 seconds. The words hit like a punch to the chest. 90 seconds? Captain Jason Hale echoed, eyes darting across his displays. Commands showing nothing. Cole's threat radar was still clean. No missile warnings. No confirmed contacts. According to every onboard system, the sky behind them was empty. And yet, his instincts screamed otherwise. Eagle 1, Cole said quickly, abandoning protocol without fully realizing it. Define bogeys. Multiple, she replied instantly. Low observable. Passive tracking. They're riding your exhaust shadow. Hale cursed under his breath. That was impossible. Passive tracking meant no radar emissions, no warning tones, no lock alerts. It was the kind of system pilots trained against in theory but hoped never to encounter in reality. 90 seconds, she repeated. 78 now. Hale snapped his head toward Cole's jet, then back to his instruments. Command, we have a possible stealth tail, Hale transmitted urgently. Request immediate AWACS confirmation. The reply lagged, just a second too long. Falcon 5. AWACS reports no hostile contacts in your vicinity. Cole's jaw tightened. No confirmation. No backup. Just 2 jets and a voice that shouldn't exist. Cole, Hale said quietly, we're either about to do something very smart or very stupid. The missile warning tone screamed without warning. A high-pitched shrill cut through both cockpits. Missile, missile, missile. Cole's world narrowed instantly. Training took over. Muscles moved before thought. She was right. Hale shouted. Brake now, the voice commanded. Hard right. Dump speed. Then climb. Cole didn't hesitate. The F-22 lurched into a violent turn, G-forces slamming him into his seat. His vision tunneled as he pulled back on the stick, dumping flares and chaff in a glittering storm behind him. Hale mirrored the maneuver, his jet screaming as it clawed upward. A missile streaked past Cole's left wing, close enough that he felt the turbulence ripple through the airframe. Jesus, Hale gasped. Stay with it, Eagle One said, calm as ever. They'll fire again. They always do. Another warning tone, another missile. Split now, she ordered. Their bracket firing. Cole rolled left. Hale dove right. The sky erupted into chaos. Contrails twisting, countermeasures exploding in blinding flashes, engines roaring at full afterburner. Cole's heart hammered so hard it hurt. How does she know? Hale shouted. How does she know all of this? Cole didn't answer. He didn't have one. Cole, Eagle One said, addressing him by name. That froze him. She hadn't been given their names. Trust me, she continued. Cut throttle in 3, 2, now? Everything in Cole's training told him that cutting throttle in a missile engagement was suicide, but everything in the last 60 seconds told him this voice had saved his life more than once already. He pulled back. The engine whined as power dropped. The missile overshot him, confused by the sudden loss of heat signature, and detonated harmlessly in the distance. Hale followed half a second later. Holy hell, Hale breathed. The warning tones faded. For a moment, there was only the sound of their own breathing and the low hum of systems stabilizing. But Eagle One wasn't finished. Don't relax, she said. You're not clear yet. Cole scanned his sensors again. This time, the contacts were visible. 3 faint blips. Closing. They're adapting, Hale said grimly. Smarter than the last wave. They always are, she replied. Cole caught that. Always. As if she'd been here before. Command, Cole transmitted, voice tight. We are under confirmed missile attack. Multiple stealth contacts. Request immediate engagement authority. Static. Then, Viper 2. Weapons free. Defend yourselves. Too late. Eagle One was already giving orders. Climb to Angels 40, she said. Then roll inverted and dive. You need altitude and confusion. That'll expose us, Hale protested. They're counting on that, she replied. Which is why it'll work. Cole didn't argue. The Raptors surged upward, engines screaming, punching through thinner air. At the apex of the climb, Eagle One's voice cut in again. Now. Both jets rolled upside down and dove. The maneuver was brutal and disorienting, gravity momentarily vanishing before slamming back into place. Missiles chased them, then lost lock. The hostile contacts faltered. One vanished. Then another. Last one stubborn, Hale said, teeth clenched. Still riding me. I know, Eagle One replied. I'm watching it. Cole didn't ask how. On my mark, she continued. Sharp yaw left. Then fire. Hale's finger hovered over the trigger. Mark. He fired. The missile screamed forward, finding its target in a flash of white light. The final blip disappeared. Silence fell again, this time deeper, heavier. No warning tones. No static, just empty sky. Cole exhaled slowly, realizing his hands were shaking. That, Hale said hoarsely, should not have worked. But it did. Cole replied. He keyed the radio, his voice filled with a mix of awe and unease. Eagle One, you just saved 2 F-22s. A pause. Then her voice, softer now. This isn't about saving jets, she said. It's about timing. Hale frowned. Timing for what? She didn't answer. Cole tried again. You said you were watching. From where? Another pause. When she spoke again, there was something different in her tone, something almost distant. From a place I'm not supposed to be, she said. Before either pilot could respond, the signal weakened. Static crept back in. Eagle 1? Cole said urgently. Remember this, her voice said, fading. Technology is only as good as the people who understand it. Then, silence. No signal. No trace. Radar empty. Command came back on the line moments later, frantic with questions, demands, and confusion. Cole answered automatically, but his mind wasn't there anymore. Because one undeniable truth remained. A voice with no aircraft, no clearance, and no visible presence had just outperformed every system they trusted. This civilian voice had just saved two of the most advanced fighter jets on Earth. And neither pilot believed for a second that this was the last time they would hear the name Eagle 1. Once the threat was neutralized, silence filled the channel. Not the comfortable kind, the kind pilots welcomed after a routine mission, but a heavy, unnatural quiet that pressed against the mind. The missile warnings were gone. The static had faded. Even the hum of tension seemed to linger, as if the sky itself was holding its breath. Major Ryan Cole loosened his grip on the control stick only when he realized his knuckles were white. Captain Jason Hale exhaled shakily. Tell me you're seeing the same thing I am. Cole checked his instruments again. Radar. Clear. Infrared. Empty. Electronic warfare systems. Quiet. Yeah, Cole said. Nothing. Sky's clean. They should have felt relief. Instead, unease crept in. Because none of it made sense. A hostile engagement with stealth contacts. Missile launches. Perfect counter moves. And then... nothing. As if the enemy had never existed at all. Hale broke the silence. Command's going to tear this apart frame by frame. Cole nodded. They won't like the answers. There was only one question that mattered now. The one both pilots had been circling since the first transmission cut through the static. Cole keyed the radio. Eagle 1, he said carefully, choosing his words with precision. Identify yourself. The channel remained quiet. Seconds passed. 5. 10. Hale glanced at Cole's jet through the canopy. Maybe she's gone. Cole didn't believe that. Not for a second. Eagle 1, he tried again. You saved our lives. The least you can do is tell us who you are. Static whispered softly across the frequency. Then, her voice returned, quieter than before. Not commanding, not urgent, almost human. I used to fly, she said. Before they erased my name. The words landed heavily in both cockpits. Hale frowned. Erased? Cole felt a chill crawl up his spine. You're military, he said slowly. Or you were. A pause. Yes, she replied. Once. Not am. Was. Cole leaned back slightly in his seat, eyes narrowing. Test pilot? Another pause. Longer this time. Yes. Hale let out a low whistle. That explains a lot. Test pilots lived on the edge of possibility. They flew aircraft that didn't officially exist, tested systems that were never acknowledged, and learned truths no one else was allowed to know. And when things went wrong, they buried you. Hale said quietly. They buried the program, she corrected. I was collateral. The wind whispered past the cockpit as the Raptors cruised at altitude, the sun casting long shadows across the wings. Cole suddenly felt very small inside his jet. You're not in any database, he said. We ran everything. There's no trace. That's the point, she replied. Hale frowned. Why now? Why today? Another pause. Because you were going to die, she said simply. The bluntness of it sent a shiver through both pilots. Cole swallowed. You knew that for sure? Yes. How? She hesitated. I designed part of what came after you, she said, and part of what came for you. That sentence lingered in the air. Hale's voice dropped. You helped build the threat. I helped predict it, she said. They didn't listen. Cole closed his eyes briefly. It was a familiar story. Too familiar. Brilliant minds sidelined. Warnings ignored. Budgets cut. Programs canceled until reality came knocking. You said they erased your name, Cole said. Why? The answer came slower this time, weighed down by memory. Because the truth was inconvenient, she said. Because I refused to sign off on something I knew would fail. Because I wouldn't stay quiet. Hale shook his head. Let me guess. Accident report. Non-disclosure agreements. Career ended overnight. Officially, she said, I was grounded for medical reasons. Unofficially, I stopped existing. Cole felt anger rise in his chest. And they just let you disappear? They made sure I couldn't come back, she said. No flight clearance, no credentials, no access. Hale scoffed. And yet here you are. Yes, she replied. Here I am. Cole stared out at the endless sky, trying to reconcile the calm voice in his headset with the picture forming in his mind. A pilot once trusted with the most advanced aircraft on Earth, cast aside and forgotten. What are you doing now? He asked. Another long pause. Watching, she said. Listening. Waiting. For what? Hale asked. For moments like today. Cole exchanged a glance with Hale through the canopy. You could have walked away, Cole said. Let the system handle it. A hint of sadness touched her voice. The system doesn't handle things, she said. People do. And today, you needed help. Silence followed again, this time reflective, almost reverent. Hale broke it gently. You know they'll come looking for you, yes, she said. They already are. Cole's pulse quickened. Then you need to disappear. Now, a faint smile crept into her tone. I never really stopped, she said. Her signal began to weaken, static creeping back into the channel like fog. Wait, Cole said quickly. What should we call you? For a moment there was nothing but noise. Then, call me what you already did, she said. Eagle One? Yes, Hale smiled despite himself. It fits, it always did, she replied. The static grew louder. Eagle One, Cole said, urgency creeping into his voice. If this happens again, if we need you, I'll hear you, she said. The sky always remembers. And then, she was gone. The channel went dead. No trace. No signal. No explanation. Just two F-22 pilots flying through a suddenly ordinary sky, carrying an extraordinary secret. Command broke in moments later, voices sharp and demanding, asking for timelines, sensor data, confirmation of hostile engagements. Cole answered automatically, but his thoughts stayed with the quiet voice that had come from nowhere, and vanished just as easily. She wasn't supposed to exist, Hale said softly after they switched to a private channel. Cole nodded. A ghost. A former test pilot, Hale added. A strategist. Someone the system buried. Cole glanced once more at the empty horizon. But today, he said, she came back. Hale smiled faintly. When the sky needed her most, and somewhere beyond radar and records, Eagle One was already listening again. Before disappearing from the radar, she spoke one last time. Her signal was already weakening, dissolving into static, as if the sky itself were slowly erasing her presence. Major Ryan Cole leaned forward instinctively, as though moving closer to the controls might somehow keep the connection alive. Eagle One, he said, urgency cutting through his voice. Your signal is degrading. I know, she replied calmly. Too calm, as if this ending had always been part of the plan. Captain Jason Hale glanced at his displays. The signal strength was dropping fast. No identifiable source, no triangulation, no footprint of any kind. It was as if her voice was never tied to a physical location at all. Before either pilot could say anything more, she spoke again. Remember this, she said. Skill doesn't disappear when the uniform comes off. The words hit harder than any missile warning. Cole swallowed. They should have never let you go. A faint breath, almost a laugh, passed through the channel. They didn't let me go, she said. They assumed I'd fade. Hale shook his head slowly. People like you don't fade. No, she agreed. We adapt. The static thickened. Cole felt a strange tightness in his chest. He had flown combat missions. He had faced real enemies. He had lost friends. Yet this quiet farewell to a voice he had known for less than an hour, felt heavier than all of it. "You saved us," Hale said. "At least let us return the favor." There was a pause. Then her voice, softer now. "You already did," she said. "You listened." The signal dipped sharply. "Eagle 1, Cole started. "Take care of each other," she said gently. "The sky is changing." And then, silence. The frequency went dead. Cole stared at his instruments, refreshing displays again and again, as if repetition might force her back into existence. Nothing. No signal. No trace. No residual interference. It was as if Eagle 1 had never been there at all. Hale broke the silence first. "Radar's clean. Completely." Cole nodded slowly. "She's gone." They flew on for several minutes without speaking, the vast blue expanse stretching endlessly around them. The world felt strangely ordinary again. Too ordinary for what had just happened. Command finally came back on the line. "Viper 2, Falcon 5, return to base immediately. Mission debrief upon landing. All data logs will be secured," Cole acknowledged automatically. But he knew what Command would find. Fragments. Inconsistencies. Unexplainable gaps. Because the truth was this. There were no official records of Eagle 1. No flight plan. No aircraft. No clearance. No name. Back at base, the debrief room was cold and sterile, lit by fluorescent lights that hummed softly overhead. Analysts replayed sensor footage, paused waveforms, zoomed into static. They asked the same questions over and over. Who issued the commands? Where did the signal originate? Why did you follow it? Cole answered calmly, honestly, because it was right. That answer didn't satisfy anyone. Hale backed him up. Every maneuver, every instruction, every second of timing, all of it had been flawless, too flawless to dismiss. Yet without proof, the incident was quietly classified. Labeled an anomalous engagement, filed under unverified external input, locked away. Within days the report was sealed. Within weeks it stopped being discussed. Officially nothing unusual had happened. But among pilots, the ones who truly understood the sky, stories traveled differently. In quiet hangars and late-night briefings, whispers began to spread. About a voice that appeared when systems failed. About a call sign that didn't exist on any roster. About instructions that arrived seconds before disaster. Some called it coincidence. Others didn't. Cole and Hale never spoke publicly about Eagle 1 again. They didn't need to. The memory lived in their instincts now, shaping how they flew, how they listened, how they trusted something deeper than instruments. Months later, during another patrol, Hale broke the silence over the private channel. "Do you ever think she's still out there?" Cole didn't answer right away. Then, quietly, "Yeah, I think she always was." They flew on, and somewhere beyond radar coverage, beyond bureaucracy and erased files, a woman who was never supposed to exist continued to watch the skies she once ruled. No uniform, no rank, no recognition, only skill, only memory, only purpose. She was just a civilian. That's what the records would always say. But two F-22 pilots knew better. Because the day the sky turned hostile, the day technology failed, the day timing meant everything, a calm voice cut through the static. And everything changed. She was just a civilian, until the F-22 pilots heard the call sign. Eagle 1.